it breathe. Let it land. Give and take. You speak, I listen, no rush to reply. Let the silence sit, let the tension pass by. No cheap shots thrown, no need to defend. Just ideas on the floor, let them bend. No winner, no loser in sight. Just a spark in the depth of the night. Sharp in thought, not the blade of pride. Let the truth decide. Respectful debate, elevate the mind. Different views, but the tone stays kind. Turn the heat down, let the light come through. Best conversations come from me and you. Respectful debate, rhythm in the flow. Push it forward, let the inside grow. No need to tear down just to feel right. We rise together in the same light. You challenge my view, I welcome the test. Not a threat, just a chance to refine what's best. No talking past, no twisting the frame. We stay on point, we stay in the game. Break it down, no ego in the way. Let the facts breathe, let the thoughts sway. Calm minds cut deeper than a shout ever could. Turn friction into something good. Respectful debate, elevate the mind. Different views, but the tone stays kind. Turn the heat down, let the light come through. Best conversations come from me and you. No, 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 no. Different views, but the no need for war when words can align. Different paths, but the goal is to find something real in the space we create. That's the power of a respectful debate.
What's up, everyone? What is up? What is up? Okay, what's up, guys? So I have a few videos up the docket, but tonight's Wednesday stream is a panel, right? So if you want to call up, right? You don't have to cam up, but please have a mic. Okay. You want to talk about anything? We could always shoot the shot. We could always just chat, chill, or debate, right? If you have opposing arguments, right? If you see my other videos, if you see my other topics, if you have an opposing view, I am down for having a conversation, right? It doesn't matter. You know, I'm very respectful. So if you want to have a debate, I'm down with that too. Or if you just want to talk, you know, I try to create Wednesdays call-in panel show for us to just, if you want to react to videos with me, if you want to just talk about just whatever, right? I want to create a community where, you know, we feel like we're together. We feel like, you know, we are like friends, right? I mean, we're online friends, whatever, right? So we could do whatever. Okay. So like I said, if you want to debate, I'm down. If you have a opposing views for any videos you've seen me make, you know, topics, because I've done a few of them, right? And if you disagree with them on Black culture, my opinions on Black culture, my opinions on a whole lot of different things, right? Could be on like I said, Black culture. Could be on feminism. If you disagree with my feminism, if you disagree with me on things like, I don't know, views on abortion, I had plenty of videos, right, where I talk about different views. So if you want to debate those, I'm always down for us to have a conversation on that. Now, also, like I said, if you want to just chill, talk, I'm good with that too. Or if you want to react to these videos I have today, we could do that as well. All right. So But hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are doing well. All right. Again, I want to promote a respectful environment. I don't really call people out their name. Now, if you're going to be insultful to me, I'm probably going to give you back the same energy. But I try not to be. Okay. I try not to be. I try to be respectful. All right. I try to be respectful as I can. Give you respect. Hopefully you give me respect. Right. All right. Let's get started. Okay. So I have, pretty much 3 different types of videos today. One is like, abortions. I kind of believe it's like liberal ideology, maybe about feminist ideology in a way too, because I think abortion shit is more feminist, right? It's more stupid feminist ideology. I have videos on, we're going to be talking about, the black community, right? I'm very vocal when it comes to the black community. Step on up, right? If you want to debate that, right? I'm very vocal on the black community. Okay. And we'll probably talk about, liberal leftist ideology as well, right? So 3 videos. They're kind of about 30 minutes each. So, we'll get through them and we'll see.
I'm not a woman, so I shouldn't speak on how women.
Yeah. So how does a woman get pregnant?
That's stupid, right? People are idiots, right? You're not a woman, so you shouldn't speak on it. First, you went up to the mic. Second, we can have an opinion on anything. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit if you're Asian or not. If you have an opinion on Asian culture, on Asian people, go for it. Right? I'll debate you on it. Right? We'll see who's right and wrong. I mean, this is the thing. It's the freedom of America. I have an opinion. It's your freedom to have an opinion. Okay. It's also my freedom to challenge it, and that's the point. Stop it like, oh, you know what? I'm not black, so I shouldn't talk about slavery. Or plenty, right? I get attacked plenty. You're not black, so you shouldn't be talking about black people. Fuck that shit. I'm gonna do what I want. All right? You want to actually debate me on that? What's up, laughing man? What is up, my brother? What is up? What? I'm not late. I'm actually early, right? I set the stream for 8 o'clock, so I'm early, my brother. Right? I'm early, my brother. I try my best not to be late. So, but yeah, you are here. I'm always willing. You want to debate me on, oh, this Asian man shouldn't be talking about the black community? Bring it on up. Bring it on. I'm down to talk. I'm down to have a discussion on it. But if you think that I'm not black, I can't talk about the black community, I'll challenge you on that. If you think because I'm not a woman, I can't talk about abortion, I'll challenge you on that. So go for it. I don't care.
Yeah, so a man is involved in getting a woman pregnant. Don't you think a man should be involved in what happens to his child?
Yeah, but I don't think it's a child until I don't think it's a child when somebody just gets pregnant.
Okay, when do you think it's a child?
Maybe like trimester 3.
Trimester 3?
Yeah.
Okay, so in the 3rd trimester, the baby's already fully viable. This is a baby in the late 2nd trimester. They can survive outside the womb. So are you okay with killing babies at this stage at 22 weeks?
Oh, yes.
You are okay?
Yeah, I'm okay with them.
Even though they are able to survive outside the womb?
Yes, I am.
So what if they're outside the womb? Are you okay with killing them then? It's the same baby at the same development.
I don't have a say in it because it's not my baby. It's not.
You don't have a say in it. You big bars. What is up, my brother? What is up? You don't have a say in it. You just literally had a say. You literally said it's okay. This is the thing where this is why, right? This is why women can do what they're doing, right? Because we have weak men. We have weak men not standing on business, all right? It's your child, right? You're part of the process. I'm not saying it's your child specifically, but that's why you talk in general, right? You talk in general. So it's ridiculous. You're an idiot.
My body. So
it's not your baby or it's not your body?
It's not my body.
Do you see how that's problematic to say that it's okay to end this child's life when it's in the womb, but not when it's outside of the womb?
No.
No, it's not.
No, I don't see it.
This baby is fully alive. It can breathe outside of the womb. It has fingers, toes. It's scientifically alive. Why is it okay to kill him?
Because if you wanted to, I'm not gonna lie.
Because if you wanted to kill a baby, it's okay?
Yeah.
Do you have a medical degree?
You see the insanity of people on the left? Because I wanted to, it's okay. Okay. So, because I wanted to deport illegal immigrants, it's okay. If I wanted to kill protesters, it's okay. Oh, wait. Now it's not? You see the delusion there? The hypocrisy? So it's okay to kill a baby. I said this. I debated these losers before, right? And I'm an amateur. I'm not a pro debater, right? I'm just a regular guy that's giving his opinion. It's okay to kill a baby because women want it. Kill another human, right? But it's not okay to deport illegal immigrants. Why? I can never understand that. I mean, please answer me that. Why is it not okay to deport illegal immigrants, but it's okay to kill babies? Why is it okay? Why is it not okay to, I don't know, punish, right, protesters who interfere in the law? Why is it? Exactly, it's brain rot.
I don't need a medical degree to know that. That's not happening because it is. I don't need a medical degree to know that killing babies is wrong and
because of this overturn, that doctors are scared to do their job. And you're talking about the doctors who were bad doctors. Rather, they're not thinking about the woman's life anymore for that abortion, but they're worried about their own license now because of this.
So I want to read the Texas pro-life law directly to you right now. It says in section 171, there is an exception for medical emergency. Sections 171, which talks about the entire pro-life law banning abortion, do not apply if a physician believes a medical emergency exists that prevents compliance with the subchapter. So I think that's very clear that if there's a medical emergency, if the doctor determines that, then they can end the pregnancy, they can do the intervention. If they're not, then they're a bad doctor. If your doctor doesn't understand a medical emergency, then they should not be a doctor. That's it. The law is very...
And literally said, oh, if you're not a doctor, how you know? Well, those are doctors, right? Doctors should be determined. If they determine that, okay, it's a medical emergency, go for it. It's like the weakness of their arguments.
I'm advocating to give healthcare to all human beings, born and preborn. I am advocating to give healthcare to all human beings. No, abortion, if your healthcare is killing people, it is not healthcare.
I think this right here. This is why we need fathers in the black community. Right? This is why right here. The problem with the black community right here, making a matriarchal community, we have unruly women. We have stupid ass women. I'm sorry. I'm going to be blunt with you. All right? It's like a good amount of black babies are being deleted. Okay? Being deleted. It's like your black brothers and sisters are being deleted, and you're out here having the audacity to scream Black Lives Matter when you kill more, right? You kill more black children than the police do. Right? Women kill more black children than the police do combined. Probably even throughout history, right? Probably even throughout history, right? You add up all the killings that police have done, right, to black people, doesn't even compare to the amount of killings black women have done. All right? And I can tell you this, those black babies could have added to the power of the black community, okay? The bigger your population, it adds to your political power, right? It adds to your economical power. Right? I mean, like, that is true. But no, because the selfishness and the emotional, the irrationality of black women, right? Because you let black women control the community, this is where you're at. They choose, here's the thing, right? I don't necessarily disagree, but they choose weak ideologies, right? They choose weak ideologies, right? They don't, the left does not care about women. They don't care about men. Well, definitely, they don't care about men. Right? They don't care about minorities. They care about ideology. The left only cares about ideology. They don't mind calling a black person the N-word if you don't. They've called black ICE agents the N-word because you don't fall in line with their ideologies. They don't mind being racist. I've seen them abuse women, right? Beat up women, kick women, push women around. So they don't mind being sexist if you don't fall in line.
You don't have to be a Christian at science. Think that you are to tell everybody else how they should be. I think absolutely we should be telling people it's wrong to kill innocent human beings. Why does your ability to live without your mother determine your value? Because that is a parasite. No, actually, in order to be a parasite, you have to be two things. You have to be a different species from your host, and you have. You have to be a different species from your host. I don't care like what you guys believe. No matter what, if you get two human beings together to reproduce, you cannot reproduce anything other than a human being. Number two, in order to be a parasite, you have to be actively harming your host. And in pregnancy, I don't know about the ladies out there, but our uteruses do not exist for just us.
Virginia is a who thing. We don't want you here.
Okay.
We already voted against all of this.
And Trump won,
We don't want you here. Get off campus. Get off campus.
This gay ass, stupid ass shit right here. I swear to God. I've been critical of Trump, right? I've been critical of Trump because I'm not a fan of Trump's foreign policies. But it's like I believe the government is this, right? It's the lesser of two evils. As sad as it is for America, it is the lesser of two evils to vote for Trump instead of letting these delusional Democrats in power. Right? Hell, if I could, even if Trump is president for more years, I would rather all states go red. I'm sorry. It's just these people need to be like, they need to be put in the military, right? Put in the military. Make these people go to, I don't give a shit if it's a woman, a gay man, or whatever. Just put them in the military. Make them work.
Going, well, that's not Trump won. When something bad happens to you and you don't have access to what you need, I don't want your cagey ass face saying shit about it.
What are you trying to say right now?
Your makeup fucked up. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. So are you calling it?
So this is you see this? No wonder, right? No wonder the left had to go kill Charlie Kirk. No wonder the left have to go assassinate people. Okay? Because they're emotional. They can't do anything. Right? They cannot debate you. They cannot exchange intellects with you. Right? Yeah, maybe the few smartest of them all could, but in general, they can't. Right? They all they have to go is like use ad hominems, right? Insults. Right? That's what they do. You're pro woman, right? That falls in line. You're pro woman that only listens to your party. You're not pro woman. You're pro ideology. This is what we don't talk about. You're not pro woman. You're not pro black. You're not pro alphabet community. You're pro anyone that follows your ideology. That is what you're pro. Stop it with that bullshit. You're not pro woman. You're not pro black. Because if you are pro black, right, you're pro because of the skin tone. Right? But if that black person is an ICE agent, you call that black person the N-word, how's that pro-black? Right? If that woman is a Republican or pro-life, and then you degrade that woman, you wish death or terrible things upon that woman, how you pro-woman? Right? No, you're pro-ideology. Exactly. Oh, you don't care about the women in the fetus, right? You don't care about women in the womb. You don't care about that, right? No, you're very pro woman.
All women. I am pro all women, whether they're born or preborn. Yeah, go ahead. I'm very neutral when it comes to pro-life and pro-choice, and I just wanted to ask you how do you feel when it comes to people that basically, for me, I was 13 and I was molested from the time that I was 9 to the age that I was 14. I didn't know that I was pregnant, but I was pregnant, and I miscarried the baby, and I was actually denied by 2 hospitals near where I live, and I only live 30 minutes south. You were denied like a DMC. I was denied any type of help in general when it came to that because obviously I was young and they claimed they didn't know what was going on. How do you feel about people being denied? Also, 17. Yeah, very good. I want to say I'm so sorry. First of all, what happened to me? That's terrible. We offer resources. Okay, decline. I'm trying to have a conversation with a woman, and I'm very sorry about it. We actually offer resources if you need any help. But I will say in that situation, the doctor should have given you that care. There's no pro-life law that ever prevents that. That is very clearly a case of terrible doctors, and I'm very sorry for what happened. So do you actually believe that it should be banned completely or by the states? Because being federally, because being banned completely would actually mean like under any circumstances at all, you cannot have an abortion. And my mom, she already had me, and she got pregnant, I say around 30ish, and she was told that like her health was at risk, and my mom wanted to keep her baby, but she could not keep her baby, and it really took a mental toll on her. So I feel like, how do you feel about things like that? Like, how would that work if there was an actual like full wide ban and people cannot get help? Yeah. So if there was a federal pro-life law, which I do think that there should.
Oh, I don't understand, right? You said your mom wanted to keep the baby. They would ban abortion. They don't ban you keeping the baby. I'm a little confused.
Federal pro-life law because the Constitution grants the right to life, which means no state should be able to take away a child's right to life. If we pass the federal pro-life law, it would never force someone to die in pregnancy. It would have that exception in there to allow women who are in health risk, and that's what we're seeing in all the states right now. It would mimic the state laws that's happening right now. There's no state that prevents that treatment. If a woman is being not allowed treatment, it's because of bad doctors, and I believe there are a lot of terrible doctors out there. I will say that there are some studies that show that you can still get pregnant on birth control and then it can harm the baby. Yes. That's obviously much different than like taking birth control until babies. That's not a thing. Like 99% of the time.
Yeah, but most of your camp would absolutely say
we are supposed to be out here as civilized people. She is allowed to feel the way she feels the same way you are.
I give her so much credit for that. I give her so much prop for that. Okay, exactly. This is the thing where I saw this comment, right? I saw this comment on TikTok. It's like, what's the point of debating, right? What's the point of debating? What's the point of talking to each other, right? What's the point? That is a point, right? I get it. When you are debating, like when it comes to like, I had a debate with another, I guess he's a subscriber, right, or a viewer, right, Alan. He disagrees with me in a lot of things, and I'm fine with that. Okay. And he said, oh, I can't change your mind. The point isn't trying to change my mind. Okay. I mean, you could. I'm very open-minded. I doubt I could change his mind. I don't think he's very open-minded, right? But that's me. That's how I feel. But the point isn't about changing our mind, right? If I'm debating someone, the point isn't about me changing your mind or you changing my mind. Now, if you could, and if I could, that's great. That'd be amazing. I would wish that. But the point is, right, is that I give you my argument, you give me your argument. And then we let the viewers, right? We let people like her decide, you know what? What sounds more logical? What makes more sense? That's the point. That's the point why you debate. That's the point why you have these conversations. It's not for you, right? The two people who are having the conversation. It's for everyone else that's listening to the conversation, right? That's the point. Because there's always someone that's neutral, that's on the fence. They don't know what's right or wrong. And that's the person you hope that you can get onto your side, okay? Because the people who are illogical, who are whatever, who's completely stubborn on their viewpoints, yeah, you probably won't change them anyway. Even if you give them facts, even if you say because they feel how they feel. So the point isn't trying to change those people's mind. The point is like trying to change that one person, hopefully more, but that one person who is on that fence. Someone like her who's reasonable, right? Even though she can believe what she believes, but she's reasonable in that, you know what? I can see the difference, right? Maybe this is that, maybe that. So.
Okay, but if you're talking to the lady that wants to ban abortion for everybody, okay, but if you are giving the right of
beat his ass. I hope she beats his ass. Go for it. Like, stupid ass gay man. I was like, seriously. People like you, people like Red Door. What is up, my sister? What is up? This is, you see the poison of feminism, the poison of the left. She was talking, right? This woman was having a civil conversation with another woman. A civil conversation. This stupid ass fruit basket, right, was yelling, interrupting, interfering in their conversation. And you're stupid enough to think that this is what the cause? Who made this stupid ass fruit basket interfere? Because he was triggered by his feelings? Two women were having a civil conversation. That's what she caused? Are you stupid? What's the point of college when you can't even think? What's the point of women's degree? This is why I said women's degrees are meaningless. They're stupid. They're useless. They are utterly useless, right? Because what's the point of having a degree when you can't even critically think? What's the point of having a degree when you can't take emotion out, right, and insert logic? What's the point? What's the point of having a degree when you're more emotional than you're logical? What's the point? White supremacy. White supremacy is wishing that you don't abort your child. White supremacy, right? I believe white supremacy. This is the stupidity of modern day black people, right? Modern day black liberals. This is the stupidity of modern day black people. The white supremacy is you keeping your black baby. That makes sense. I'm pretty sure the KKK would love it that you delete more babies. I think that, hell, the KKK would open the doors, right? Open more Planned Parenthoods for you, right? The KKK would open more Planned Parenthoods for you in your neighborhoods. I'm quite sure they would fund those things so you can abort more black babies. Because here's the thing. The greatness of that is that there's less of you. This is why they're more stupid, right, than they think they are. Because how is it white supremacy to want you to keep your black baby? How? Please tell me. This is why you just throw around words just to throw it around. This is the stupidity. Utter stupidity. I swear to God. And then we should want free college? Fuck that shit. Free colleges? My taxpayer money ain't going to this stupid ass shit. Free colleges. This is why, you know what, like during the time of Bernie Sanders, right? I was like deep fan of Bernie Sanders. Deep fan of Bernie Sanders. I'll probably say I was delusional, right? I was a deep fan of Bernie Sanders. I wanted Bernie to win. Right? I wanted Bernie to get the Democrat nomination, and I wanted him to beat Donald Trump. Right? Because he talked about free healthcare, free colleges. Right? I was like, bro, come on. I'm all for that. Let's have a big change in America. Right? I was straight up. When Bernie Sanders was running, that's when I signed up. That's when I registered to vote, because I was ready to vote for the motherfucker. Right? I was ready to vote for him. When Bernie Sanders was running, I was ready to vote for him because I wanted a big change in America. I'm glad Okay, he lost. I'm glad the Democrats didn't pick him. Okay, I'm glad, because that right there, when the Democrats didn't pick Bernie Sanders, that led me down a pipeline, right? Crazy, right? Crazy that they think that, Donald Trump is making people right wing or shit like that. No. Right? When they did not pick Bernie Sanders, that led me down a pipeline away from the Democratic Party. And I wasn't particularly called, I wouldn't think that I was liberal or left, but I was Democrat. That led me down the aisle, the pipeline, where I realized that, wow, this is the insanity. One, no, we shouldn't have free colleges, because colleges are producing stupid future adults. I don't think that we should have free colleges, because we don't want more of this shit. Words like the R1 have lost their meaning because of white libs. I agree. Nikki, I agree, right? I definitely agree.
Sorry, we can't fucking hear you. We can't hear you.
Don't you think it's better to just let my child go out and live, like, is mercy rule it, Because I was born with multiple birth defects, and I believe it would have been better if I was mercy ruled instead of
If you were killed?
mercy ruled, because I would not have, there is no conscience, I would not have been able to think, because you're a fetus and you can't think as a fetus.
Do you hate life then? I don't understand it. Do you hate your life then? I mean, you could end it anytime you want. That is, as sad as it is. Go for it if that's what you want. But are you saying that now you wish that your parents ended your life?
Well, you can't.
No,
Pretty
you
much
can't.
children have dreams.
No,
They
you
feel pain.
You can't think as a fetus. So anyways, what's the point of keeping it if it's not going to have a good quality of life?
So I think that your life is very valuable. I'm glad that
It doesn't matter about value, it's about quality of life.
No, I think it is about value.
My quality of life has not been as good if I were just mercy ruled.
You're wishing that you were. Are you wishing that you were? You're saying that you were better off dead.
No, I'm saying that people like
You literally saying that.
I should have been mercy ruled. I cost him weight. I cost so much money. I was born in a country that could not afford it. I was born to people who couldn't afford it. And I am now in a new country with people I don't know. And people like me should be mercy ruled. Why would you advocate for them to be kept? Why would you advocate for someone who may not be able to speak, talk, music, or think for their own? Why should they have to?
So I don't think life, your value should be based off of your abilities or capabilities. I know a lot of people who have severe birth defects and are glad that they're alive. I don't think we should kill people just because we deem their life less.
You hear that? The party of women are saying, I'm just here to heckle a woman. The party of women, they're here just to heckle women. Doesn't that make sense, right? That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense, right? You don't. It's like, I wonder, right? I wonder if, let's say, a Republican heckled a woman. Is that okay? Right? A Republican heckled a woman. Is that okay? I really want to know. Because why is it if someone on the right heckles a woman, you will find that sexist? You see the hypocrisy? You see the hypocrisy of these people? Absolutely disgusting. You see that they're hypocrites. Like I said, they are hypocrites. I despise so-called feminists. Nikki, I love you. We are on the same board, right? Because feminists don't care about women. They don't care about women. They only care about ideology. Okay? Feminists do not care about women. They care about ideology. Absolutely ridiculous, right? Because, hell, if you are a true feminist, you will not be supporting the alphabet community, right? If you are a true feminist, you wouldn't be supporting abortion. The killing of women. The killing of women. A killing of future women. You wouldn't be supporting that. You wouldn't.
Qualified in some way. I don't think that our value and our rights should be based on how great life is. And I'm sorry for what you went through, but I'm still glad that you're here. I think that you are much better off alive rather than killed.
Well, it's not a value. It's not about value of life. I
It's
know.
tonight. This is for the event tonight, and you can take it. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Very, very nice of you. You can get in line if you.
Okay, well, what's the point of that? This is like absolute stupidity.
Okay. Anyways, it's like how you mercy rule your dog. You value your dog, and you also value.
I would say
No,
not.
it's the same thing. It's so selfish to keep something alive that you know will not have a kill. No, it's so selfish.
These are the people that you're supporting. Evil Eddie. These you see your party? You see the people and you say, this is what you're supporting? And like, you know what? You're right, right? You're right. We should delete the disabled. Well, that's what I think Sweden or Norway, one of the Nordic countries are doing, right? I think the Nordic countries are doing that. They're deleting their disabled. Okay, great. Great. That's what you wanted, okay? We should delete the disabled. I mean, out from a liberal mouth. It's like sometimes like the more liberals talk, I'm like, are you liberal? Are you Democrat? Or are you supposedly, I don't know, the evil Republicans? Aren't you the evil Republicans that you see? Because like seriously, they are sexist, they are racist, they want to delete the disabled. Wow, you sound terrible, right? Aren't you you sound like the evil oppressors that you talk about? Ain't that something? I said this before. I don't say that Republicans are better. I don't. I've always viewed the government as lesser than two evils. But why is the left? Why are Democrats so evil, right? Why? To such a magnitude. Right? Here they are. They don't mind being sexist. They don't mind being racist. And they don't mind deleting disabled babies. I'm not saying I'm for it or against it because it's my own personal view. It's, I have my own views on that. But again, it's like, what kind of group are you?
He had to go sit down after that one.
There is a long line behind you, but I just want you to know that your life is valuable. I don't think that because a lot of prenatal diagnoses are wrong. A lot of times women are told that their baby will be better off killed, and then their baby will not be alive. I'm not answering that question. You can go back now. Thank you. Well, are you pro legal abortion? I'm anti-abortion. So you're pro legal abortion. You're pro-abortion. You're pro-legal abortion.
But my question is, where do you draw the line between like your own moral obligation and like, and how the country? Yeah. So I want to know, like, because are you saying that abortion should be legalized? Is that your standard?
Yeah. So I believe abortion should be ended on the federal level because the Constitution and the 14th Amendment grants a right to life. When the 14th Amendment was ratified, a majority of states recognized the preborn child as a person that deserves the right.
I'm sorry. Any black person that is pro-abortion, you are stupid. Any black person that is pro-abortion, you are stupid. You are utterly stupid. What's the bill? Is the biggest? I mean, I'm not. I gotta fact check it, but at least it's one of the biggest killers. The biggest killers. One of the biggest killers of the black community is abortion. One of the biggest killers of the black community is abortion. I'm not sure if it's the biggest. It might be. I know it's like. I know it's over 1 million black babies have been aborted. Aren't you? It's like, how can you be pro-black, but you know what? Pro-black, anti-marriage, pro-abortion, but pro-single mother. Pick a lane. Pick a lane. I'm a guy. It's like, this is why you're all over the place. Pick a lane, right?
To life equally, and therefore I believe that every child is a.
My God, this woman's dressed like a whore. God, I'm not trying to be. It's like seriously.
Right to life. I don't think that any state should be able to take away those rights. Actually, I disagree with President Trump on that. I don't like his stance that it should be left up to the states because I don't think that your human rights should be based on your zip code. I think that all human beings deserve equal rights, and that it's our government's job, even though they do a pretty crappy job at protecting our rights sometimes. It is their job to protect the rights of all human beings.
Okay, so
you know what I like about the right at least they can be critical, right? They don't have to 100% agree with Trump. They don't. They know it. I believe what I've heard most of the time, the right doesn't agree with Trump 100%. But they know that Trump is the lesser of two evil. There's so many methods of birth control out there for free. It's disgusting to get multiple abortions just because. I agree. My stance is always, I understand the exceptions, right? I understand the exceptions of abortions. I understand. Fine. I'm not like that critical of it. Fine. I don't. If it's the exceptions, okay. But it's 90% not the exception. 90% of the time, it's women just wanting to have an abortion because they had sex with a terrible man that they don't want, or they had sex with a man that don't want them. 90%.
You know, having a right, and then talking about rights in general, right? You think it's okay to take away a woman's right for choice to choose at a federal level?
So I support a woman's right to choose personal decisions over her body, but a preborn child has their own body, their own fingers, their own toes, their own heartbeat. They deserve choices over their own body, and abortion. Women's choices
start and ends at the man she chose to have sex with. That's the start of her pro-choice. After that, now she suffered the consequences of her poor action, of her poor choice. This is a thing where a criminal's choice is his or her choice in doing a crime. After that, right? After doing that crime, you are experiencing the consequences of your poor action, of your poor choice. Right? This is why these people are low IQ. Right? I'm pro-choice, not pro-abortion. Your choice, right, starts and ends with the man you have sex with. Okay? Your choice, right? Your choice starts and ends with the man you choose to have sex with. Don't fucking choose him. Don't choose him. Right? Don't choose the guy. Don't choose to have sex, and don't choose the wrong guy. And then you don't have to suffer the consequences of said choice.
Directly infringes on those rights because no preborn child ever wants to be poisoned back when numbered in abortion.
You probably heard this before, but I want to ask you.
Yeah.
Burning building, there's 2 rooms, human beings in one, 10 fertilized eggs in the other. Tell me why you would say those fertilized eggs were not.
Yeah, so I don't know what I would do in that situation, and I don't think it matters.
I think it does, because it shows if you value those, if you wouldn't pick those fertilized eggs, it shows that you don't actually value those as life.
It doesn't. Nope, it doesn't. It actually means that I value both, and I don't know which one to pick. Because, for instance, on the Titanic, they chose to save the women and children first.
Okay.
Does that mean that the men are
We
less
don't live in the 1900s.
It's a different thing.
We live in the
He gave you
2000s.
an analogy that didn't even exist, and I can talk about the Titanic.
It's a hypothetical. Come on.
But she gave you an example as well. Are you stupid? That's what I'm saying. Free colleges? Are you stupid? I'm not paying for free colleges. I ain't letting these stupid ass kids get an education because it's useless. The education for these kids are useless. So no, F with that.
You can engage in.
I'm not going to listen. That's why
No, you're good.
Laughing man. Yeah, I love it. I love it.
in the same way, I don't think it matters who we choose to save. Both lives are still valuable. People are going to make an emotionally charged decision. For instance,
Did you just say it doesn't matter who we choose to save?
so
She just said it doesn't fucking matter who.
No.
Oh my God. Did you not just hear that?
Are you done?
Did you not? I'm not done until you're fucking
Okay.
done.
For example, I'm in the same situation. Imagine there's 2 random toddlers and your own toddler. Some women would choose to save their own baby over the other 2, even though some people say their lives are more important.
That's a great point. Yeah, it's a great point.
All right, hi.
Yeah. No duh. You stupid ass fucking God. Why are you so why are people in college such dimwits? I really don't understand.
Good. How are you?
I'm great.
Good.
Fantastic.
So
Ah, look at that, right? 2021, 2022. Black women have the highest B delete rates in the US, accounting for approximately about 38 to 42% of all reported B deletes, despite representing about, this is the thing, right? Exactly. A crazy amount of deaths. Nikki, thank you. No, thank you for stopping by. Yes, thank you. I love it. Thank you for being here. You're amazing.
I'm mostly pro-life,
Okay.
but I kind of go back and forth a lot about like rape, incest, life of the mother.
Yeah.
So I know you touched on it a little bit before, but what would you say to me to convince me?
Yeah, so there's no pro-life law that prevents medical treatment in pregnancy emergencies. That's I want to make that very clear. Every single law is explicit about that. All these cases where women are dying in pregnancy is because of bad doctors, not because of the pro-life law. So that's just not happening because the procedure we can use to save that woman's life can always also work to try to save the baby's life, even if the baby does sadly pass away in the process, because the procedure to save a woman's life is an induction or a C-section. And yes, sometimes the baby can't survive or has an abnormality or is too young to survive, but they can still give medical treatment to both and try to help them both survive, which is much different than an abortion, an elective abortion, which goes in trying to dismember the baby and throw it in the trash.
Yeah, that's because Republicans put it in the law that that's how they do it.
Okay. So,
they wanted to make abortions as barbaric as possible.
no. So the abortion procedure that we made illegal was partial birth abortion. We made partial birth abortion illegal because that was done by half delivering the baby and then injecting the baby's skull. Anyways, as for case
You stupid? Absolutely freaking.
the sexual assault, I want to be very clear. No pro-life ever wants a woman to become pregnant with sexual assault, but we know that abortion increased risk of depression, anxiety, and suicide. It's not going to undo the trauma that happened to that woman. It's going to add potentially more trauma, and it's going to add a second victim, the baby. We offer real help and support to women who are sexually assaulted. In a society that doesn't even give the death penalty to the horrific rapist that committed this terrible crime, why would we give the death penalty to an innocent child for the crimes of their father? It doesn't make sense to end an innocent child as a solution to that problem. We can offer so much better for that woman, and no, it will never be a perfect situation, but that's a whole lot better than ending a child's life and potentially traumatizing that woman farther. Does that make sense? Does that help?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
I commend you for being out here.
Thank you.
Really discreetly.
Yeah.
I think we need more like discussions back and forth.
Yeah.
You see this? What I'm talking about? It's not the point about debating one view with the other view, right? It's just having a conversation, right? Hopefully you have a conversation, and hopefully you can convince someone that wants to, someone that's open-minded, right? That's the point of when I do some debates or having streams, because I hope, right? I hope that I'm logical enough, right? Makes sense enough to convince someone that, you know what, they didn't think that, right? There's a few times where I say something that, you know what, a viewer is like, oh, I never thought about that, right? And that's very satisfying, okay? To say something that, you know what, a viewer never thought about, and it's just like it pretty much, you know, moves some cogs in their brains. So I love that.
Yeah, they do. Well, thank you so much. Yes, go for it. I hope to see you tonight.
I was wondering there, like, the last time we talked about, you told me about like your stance, and you believe that you're pro-life and stuff, and you didn't understand it. But I'm still not understanding the whole. Why do you think it's violence? Like, what do you mean by abortion is violence?
Yeah. So, for an example, a second trimester abortion. These are the exact tools that the abortionists use. They're called forceps. And they go in, they open the woman's uterus, and they clamp the forceps on the baby's limbs. They lock them in place. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to harm this baby. But then they rip the baby's limbs limb by limb. They take them out and make sure that they count all the limbs together before discarding them in the trash. And to me, that is absolutely violence. To both the baby and to the woman as well, because women can also be harmed from abortion, even killed by abortion. I would say that's absolutely violence to women and children.
I understand. So you're saying it's murder, basically. It's murder.
Yeah, it's killing an innocent human being. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great.
So I just want to know your general opinion on miscarriages, because that's kind of like a line between miscarriage, murder, not murder.
Yeah.
So a lot of women in America are actually penalized for having miscarriages. They are.
Can you think of a situation where they have?
There are cases.
There's every single pro-life law allows treatment for miscarriage care. So if a woman isn't getting miscarriage care, it's because she has a bad doctor, not because of the pro-life law. We think that miscarriages are a tragedy, absolutely. And it's ending of an innocent human life, but it's much different than an abortion because they're trying to kill a human being, whereas a miscarriage is like a natural cause of death. Like usually it's because the baby had an abnormality or the baby just wasn't being sustained right, so they tragically died. That's much different than being violently killed. So we're not penalizing women for having miscarriage. We believe in care for women that have miscarriages. We think it's a tragedy, absolutely, but we're never going to penalize women. If anything, we offer support and help for those women who are having miscarriage. What'd you say?
My friends are stuffed up. How much weed did you eat today?
How much weed did I eat?
Yeah.
If you're very pro women, I'll give you to insult women. What?
You see that? Very pro woman indeed. Very pro woman. This is what I'm saying, right? This is the hypocrisy of the left. Isn't your party, isn't your group pro woman and pro minority? But if they don't fall in line, you don't mind being sexist and racist. I've said this before. I've said this countless times, right? When it comes to the right or Republicans, right? If they're going to stab me, at least they would do it face to face, right? When it comes with Republicans and the right, if they're going to stab me, at least they would do it face to face. While when it comes to Democrats and the left, when they stab you, right? They're doing from your back, right? They will hug you. While they're hugging you, they'll stab you in the back.
Okay, so no.
Yes, it is. It is a literal living type of thing. It's a parasite inside of its house. It cannot survive.
A thing? It's a living human. Liz would be so angry. Yeah, I agree.
Outside of its host, for 20 weeks. Yes, it is something that survives within something else. It cannot survive outside of the mother.
In order to be a parasite, it has to be a different species from the host. And 2 humans can only reproduce.
No, babe. No.
Yes.
A parasite is a living type of organism that cannot survive outside of its host. A fetus cannot survive outside of its mother before 20 weeks.
In order to be a parasite,
A parasite is not that it can't survive outside without the host. It's like I don't think that's a definition of a parasite. I've seen some parasites that can survive without a host. Now they have to, if they want to sustain life, they would have to find a host.
in order to be a parasite, scientifically, it has to be a different species from the host, and it has to be actively harming the host. Which is a mother's body was designed with the biological system.
A mother, that's why there's
No, they can't.
Yes, it can. That's why there's cases. That is why there's cases of mothers dying with babies in the womb.
Yes, those are medical emergencies, but the baby
No,
is not
babe, it can happen before fucking birth.
You people want to get rid of abortions for medical emergencies.
That's literally the
Every single pro-life law allows medical
That is
emergencies.
literally the definition of what it is. I've been saying that the whole fucking
Wow, this whole group of people, like all up on this woman.
time. I've been saying
It cannot be a parasite because it is the same species as the host. In order to be a parasite, you have to be a different species. No matter how many times I try to reproduce my husband, I can never breed any other species besides the human.
it is a parasite.
Actually, you are.
That's exactly the fucking definition of a parasite.
Saying I'm a
Look it up.
parasite.
You are a parasite. You are a demon.
Yeah, I'm a parasite and demon. Yeah.
With this fucking country.
Very pro women of you.
I love that you're finally admitting it for the world. You are a piece of shit.
Very pro women of you.
Your existence makes the world worse.
You know what? I still care about you. I'm here because I support all human beings.
Okay.
Here's the difference. Here's the difference between you and me.
About my existence, about my well-being.
Here's the difference between you and me. I care about you no matter what you say about me. I am pro all human life. I don't care if you hate me, if you want me dead. I still support your right to life. I'm here because I care about all.
I don't know. I'm sorry, right? I don't care about his life. I'll be honest. I would beat the shit out of him. I was just like, fuck it, right? I mean, his father didn't do it. I'll help. I'll take care of it. All right. This I don't know, faggot of a man. Is that a hair clip? He needs a father beating, right? He needed it. His father failed him.
That is not a baby. That doesn't even have skin. It doesn't even have. I'm sorry.
Hold up the image for the camera, please. This? She's saying that this baby. You're saying that baby isn't valuable?
No, I'm not saying that life isn't valuable. I'm saying that it comes to a choice. A lot of the time.
Choose to kill that baby?
You should be able to choose anything in life.
Anything in life.
Yes.
I should be able to choose to kill whoever I want.
No.
You literally just, do you not see your hypocrisy? It's like they don't even know what they're saying.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is,
Wait.
We're never gonna get through to her. You're wasting your time. We'll never get through to her. Anyway, like I was saying, this is what you're saying, right?
I'm saying that I'm going to continue to stand for equal rights, and I'm not going to be silenced. Come to my speech tonight. You come to my speech, ask me special questions. Okay. Oh, thank you for touching me. Anyone else want questions? Come to my speech tonight.
What the fuck is that?
Would you like to come to my speech tonight?
It's great to see what you're doing here. I really wanted to laugh with it. Thank you.
Would you like to come to my speech tonight? Like to come to my speech tonight? We have a respectful conversation. I'm just inviting you to hear my speech tonight. I'm giving a speech tonight. I want you to hear it. I just want you to hear my speech tonight. We're about to about to go tonight? All right, thank you. Thanks so much. I mean, I can grab some more. Hold on, I'll grab some more.
Florida, 57% of Florida said abortion rights when they voted 57% for Trump.
Yep, that's how the rule went, and thankfully it failed. And now, last thousands of babies are going to be safe.
60% is required.
Yep, fantastic.
A majority of Florida said.
Yep, a majority of people support killing babies, and thankfully it's not going to be illegal in Florida.
How do you explain them voting for Trump and voting for abortion? How do you explain them going 56% for Trump and 57% for abortion? How do you explain that?
So I think Trump, unfortunately, is not.
No, this is the thing. I think the right, right? I think the right is so much more brave than the left is. They don't mind, right, doing this shit. They don't mind doing it. Now, I don't even know what part of America is like such is very deeply right wing, particularly what college, right? I don't think there's any college that is right wing. So, I think most colleges, if not 99% of colleges, are left leaning. So, I don't know how they would do that.
Very strong on the abortion issue sometimes. I think people are lied to about what abortion is. They're told that abortion is needed for miscarriage care, and it's not true. It's simply a lie. Women deserve better than abortion, and there's always medical exceptions. And so people are misinformed about the Florida Amendment. That's why they're voting on it. Are you already coming to my speech tonight? Okay. Love you guys.
All right, Lydia, closing thoughts for the live stream.
I think it's pretty clear to me today, hi Antifa, that the pro-abortion movement is pro-violence, like my core name states. I'm going to be back tonight to educate some people with some peaceful, nice facts. Hopefully they're a little more charming tonight. I doubt it though. But yeah, pro-abortion is anti-women, in case you haven't noticed.
That's the insanity. That is the insanity of the left, right? I love it. I love it. I talked a little bit about black people before, right? But I'm going to do it in the last video. I'm going to do it in this video. So, you know, if you are not a subscriber, you know, prepare to be triggered, right? Asian man talking about black people, right? If you're going to be triggered, be triggered. And like I said, right? Link is in the chat. If you disagree with me, or if you want to react with me, we could. But yeah, if you disagree with me, I'm always willing to talk.
The looting, the shooting, the robbing, the fighting, they all have a common denominator, and at what point will we call it out? My name is Amir Odom, and I'm a black man in America, and before we even get into this video, I have to make a point that I do not hate myself, and I do not hate being black. I love who I am. I love my skin color. I love everything about me. And with
and I want to make a point too, right? I live in the black community, work in the black community, have a black baby mama, right? As crazy as it is. I've dated predominantly black women. I have black friends. I'm not using this as anything. Is that I love the black community, right? I think black people are the coolest community around, right? I think they're the coolest people around. Okay. The things I say, I believe it is out of love, right? Not hate, right? Not hate. I'm not seeking white validation because, to be honest, right? Besides Evil Eddie, I don't really know white people in real life, right? I don't really know white people in my day-to-day. I don't interact. Seriously, I don't see white people that often my day-to-day. Okay, my day-to-day, I'm with black people every day. So I care more about black people than seeking white validation. I don't give a shit. I don't care if the white man likes me or not. It's not the point, right? Because the thing is, things I say is more about what is better, right? What I believe will be beneficial for the white community. And one of the things that I believe is not beneficial is blaming your problem on a white man, right? That is the insanity. That thumbnail of the guy looks like Urkel, damn Urkel. There's I can understand that.
that being said,
Yep, Evil Eddie's the token gender of the group.
as a black man in America, I'm allowed to share my experience and the things that I'm seeing, witnessing, and even the data that's out there. And just because myself or someone else is calling these things out does not mean that they are a self-hating black person, an Uncle Tom, a coon, or whatever it may be. We are allowed to have open and honest conversations about the things that are going on. And with this video, I'm not trying to paint black people in a negative light. No, if the shoe fits, it fits. I am well aware of the sheer amount of successful black people out there that exist, the black people who made it out the trenches and made something for themselves. I get you can be black and successful. I'm not saying you can't. Hell, I grew up without a father. Hello, typical. I've been homeless before. Like, I have family in the hood and I have family behind gated communities. This video is just to highlight the stereotypes that black people have and how, I mean, we always talk about it. We're the minority in this country, yet we make up majority of the crimes. And this isn't to say that white people are perfect and there aren't white hood people or white ghetto people or they are just a perfect being. No, this isn't to say that either. I am not saying.
And here's the thing where that stat, people like to refute it. It is true in the sense that it's per capita, right? Per capita, right? By how big their population is, how much crime comes out of that population. Now, white, again, right? By true numbers, white people do more crime, right? By true numbers, white people do more crime. That's not the argument, right? Why do people even say that, right? Why do people, 13% of the population, 50% of the crime? Why do white people even say that, right? Why do people say that? Because it's to talk about it, where you have bigger problems than the white man, right? You have bigger problems than the white man. You have bigger problems than racism. Racism isn't a problem for the black community. There's bigger problems. Low marriage rates, high divorce rates, low birth rates, high single mother rates, right? High criminality, right? High black on black crimes. And the black on black crimes, yes, it's a crime of proximity. I get that. But again, people say that it's because you have bigger problems than racism. You have bigger problems than the white man. I always like to use this analogy or this thought process where, why do you focus what's happening outside of the house, right? You focus on the streets, you focus on your yard, your sidewalk, the pothole, the neighbors that walk by, instead of focusing on the crack window you have, the hole in your floor, hole in your wall, the broken sink. Like, instead of focusing what's happening inside your house, right? Focus on what's happening inside your house, make it livable, make it good and decent, and then go out and see how the world is.
That all white people are perfect and all black people are bad. No. However, I mean, shit, I will be honest.
I wasn't snitching. Dude, I wasn't snitching.
Why are you stealing this man's winter coat? Yes, the man's wearing a $1,000 winter coat, but that's his prerogative. If he wants to wear a $1,000 winter coat, he can. Why are you taking it upon yourself to take the coat off of someone else's back to steal it? When it comes to the subway and the sheer, we talked about it earlier in another video, but the amount of crimes that we see happen on the subway, from the robberies, from the stabbings, to the shootings, to the homeless, there's a common denominator that needs to be addressed and talked about, and it's sad that it's this way. And we know it's us, black people, and it's this way because there was this tweet that someone had said, we keep telling y'all to stop with the damn jackets on the train here because of this, and y'all won't stop. Then he fighting back for it. These N-words will kill you, and go to KIPP the next day. They don't care. It was tweeted by a black person warning white people to stop wearing their nice winter coats on the train because other black people will go out and steal them. Again, this isn't a big F you, I hate black people video, but we can acknowledge the trends and acknowledge what's going on, so much so where this person.
And then you wonder why, right? You wonder why, whether you're black or white, if you see a group of black people walking down towards you, you would move to the other street. I hear black people saying that, right? I hear black people saying, if I see a group of black people, I would walk over another street. I would not go on the same path as other black people, right? Because even black people know I ain't messing with those people.
Can easily put a tweet out like this as if we all will understand, white probably shouldn't wear a nice coat in a black community. And really, I should correct myself, not just a black community, but a black low income, or like the hood, should I say. You wouldn't see this happening in an affluent black neighborhood. They even found out about this because this white woman had tweeted, in my 90% white town, I could walk around wearing all of my jewelry, a cashmere coat, and a nice handbag with a wallet full of cash. I can leave my doors unlocked, I can leave my laptop in my car overnight, and no one steals it.
And this is what I said, right? Yes, besides for the black affluent communities, which probably is not many. This is why, right? When black people make it, they move out of the hood and move into white neighborhoods. This is why majority of the time when black people make it, They move outside of the hood, surrounded by their own kind, to move into a neighborhood surrounded by white people. Right? That is why. Because even black people know, I don't want to be surrounded by these people. Right? I'd rather be surrounded by these people, right? By white people. I'd rather be surrounded by white people. If I make it, I'd rather be surrounded by white people than people of my own complexion. That says a lot.
Accidentally left a scooter at the park, went back 3 days later, and it was right where I left it. This is what your life could be like without diversity. And the sad part is there's data behind this. This isn't just like a racist tweet. Like, there's literally data behind this. And it opens up the door for a lot of conversation of, you know, I'm a fan of diversity. I'm in an interracial relationship. Fine with diversity if you assimilate to that culture's standards of what makes that culture so great. I firmly believe that white people and black people can coexist and can act the same and can be a part of a cohesive society. That can't happen. What can't happen is when you bring in this diversity of...
Here's the thing where I think there was a point in time where black people and white people were mingling better, right? Because they had a shared value, right? They were growing the shared value, where black people were very religious, right? They were very community oriented. They were very conservative, right? Patriarchal, right? The father head of household. Same thing with white people. They converged, right? They converged. They stopped being, there's no father in the household. They're not. They're more liberal than ever. There's no one. Their matriarchal community. It just got worse.
Like, okay, just because you're bringing in a bunch of different races and sexes and ethnicities does not mean you're going to get true diversity. Diversity of thought matters more than diversity of representation. When you just focus on diversity of representation, of just having a black woman here, a white woman here, an Indian person there, you're getting different looks, but like you're not getting a merge of like the thought process. You're not getting someone that will assimilate.
I definitely want to check out Canada, right? Canada's on my bucket list. All right. So I'll definitely contact you when Canada's on, coming close, right? When I decided to go to Canada, I'm definitely contacting you.
And be sure to subscribe, because this gets into another video I'm working on, is if America is a melting pot, we're all blending together and coexisting greatly, or if we're just a mosaic, where a bunch of different subgroups and niches is put together in this mosaic that is America, like which one's which. But with this tweet, I went snowboarding recently, had so much fun, and I've been getting like the snowboarding memes and reels on my Instagram, and I saw one where it was like, wow, you can just leave all your gear out and no one's gonna steal it. And of course, I go to the comment section, it's like, well, a Dodge Charger can't drive up the mountain. And with skiing and snowboarding, there are very, very little black people. It's the times that I've gone in. What I see online, I don't see, there's just white people activities. I don't see black people skiing or snowboarding, and that's why they leave their stuff around. Are there cases where people are stealing at a ski resort? For sure. But the fact of the matter is, when I was snowboarding, my private instructor was just like, hey, you can leave your stuff here, we'll come back for it later. And I went back and it was there. I mean, that's actually crazy. And there's something to say when you have this white woman talking about her, you can't do this. Because truly, what sucks about all of it gets thrown racist and bigoted so fast without people taking it into context for what it is. People are scared to talk about this. Sugar threats, doxing, personal identity theft, by the amount of our text message. If people are to take that information when you request it, but they make it extremely hard to request it, so or can handle that for you. But not literally, why? What does it serve you? I mean, actually, I understand what it serves them. These looters.
This is the thing where I've talked about this before, right? I talked about with a subscriber, right? Antics. The black community has bad marketing. Right? They have bad marketing, where you wonder why when a black person goes into a store, you're looked at. You wonder why. Exhibit A, right? You wonder why.
Literally, why?
When they see black people go into a store, you wonder why. It doesn't mean that there's no, Asian people that steal, white people that steal. Of course there is, right? Of course there is. But what's the narrative, right? What's the narrative? Hi. I mean, the narrative is that you are thieves, right? You are criminals. So you have to watch out. It's sad as it is. That's the case, that you have to watch out for these people.
What does it serve you? I mean, actually, I understand what it serves them. These looters that are doing the Louis Vuitton in LA and all these other high fashion stores, they take them, the boosters and the scammers, they steal them and they put them online in their local community. I get it. There is a huge financial incentive for these people, especially given they have nothing to lose. When you're in the trenches and you're in the hood, you're in fight or flight mode. You're just trying to survive, quite frankly. And yes, a lot of these hoods are built around and were really started from the feds and racism to break down the black neighborhood and black community, but it's 2025. We're past that now. There's no reason to be acting like this. I get it. It's a get rich quick scheme and it's something for you to do really quickly to net profit, but there are way too many things out there, way too many businesses to be started, trades to join, where you can make money legally and not have to rely and do something like this, because this isn't helping anybody. It's only making black people look worse than what we already are. We can't even go to Six Flags. And I grew up in Six Flags. I love the theme parks. I love everything about a roller coaster. Why is it people that look like me? I never see white people crashing out like this unless a sports team wins and they go downtown and they just acting a fool. I get it. But why? It's reasons like this why theme parks are putting curfews. An amusement park with a curfew and limits on how many minors are there.
You don't realize why Walgreens used to, or CVS or Walmart or Target. I don't know if Target does it, but they put shit under glass, or they have barcodes or whatever, all this security shit. You wonder why. You wonder why. They're not doing it because it's good for them. No, because they're spending more money, right? I mean, like hell, they would gladly not spend the money on security, right? They would gladly do it, but they will have to spend the money on security so people won't steal it, particularly black people.
Out an adult. I mean, the mall that's close to me, you can't even go to that mall if you're under 21 after, I think, 3 o'clock. I was just in New York City. They just blocked minors from going to get some McDonald's because too many people like this keep loitering and trying to steal and acting a fool because there's no parents anymore. Where are Gen Z, Gen Alpha's parents, and what are they doing? Where are they?
They don't care, right? These were some of them kids raising kids. These are single mothers, right? Single mothers, they're useless. I mean, in general, right? They're not good parents. They're single mothers, right? They only care about themselves. So they let the kids out and do what they want, right? They let the kids do what they want because it doesn't bother them. A lot of these single mothers, they're young themselves, right? I don't know, 30, late 20s, mid 30s, right? They're relatively young themselves. So they care about, they want to go out, right? These mothers want to go out and have fun themselves, right? Hit up the Pookies, hit up the Ray Rays, right? So they let these kids run wild because you don't want to, you don't care. You don't want to be bothered by these kids.
Yeah, whose behavior is unacceptable, and it's hard. I'm saying Gen Z and Gen Alpha's parents, where are they at? But really, where are the black parents? Where are the Hispanic parents? Because that's really what you mainly see in these groups of mobs. You see a sprinkle of white there, you see, your little Hispanic there, but it's mainly just black folk. That's the sad truth. So when we get stereotyped, we're like, oh my gosh, black people don't act. When you have a crowd of black people or a big mob of them together, a big group of black people hanging out, black kids hanging out, and other people are nervous or other people are on ease or cops get called, this is why. Because typically when a lot of them get together, nothing good happens. And I hate to say that, but at the same time, I'm not just saying that. I'm showing you guys the footage of multiple theme parks and water parks dealing with these issues of groups and mobs of black teenagers. Why are most stereotypes around black people true? Because we see things like this. 9 out of 10, the stereotypes, the judgment, the prejudices, they're all valid.
Yeah, right? This is the thing where I did this a video, right, the other day. The other day, Monday or so. Charleston White saying, saying, stop caring about others. Look in the mirror, right? Look in the mirror. None of these people, right, care about the black community. None of these teens, of course, they don't care, right? None of the adults care. No one care. No one in the black community actually cares about the black community, right? They don't care about each other. They don't give a shit about black people. I've said this before. When black people care about black people, it's when white people are involved. That's it. That's the only time when black people care about other black people, when the white man is involved, right? When the white man is involved, they band together, right? They band together. There's a movement, right? When it's about white people, but when it's about themselves, I don't give a shit. I don't care what happens to you. I don't care. I mean, like, hell with you. F your life. I don't care what. I don't care if you're fighting each other. I don't care if you're killing each other. I don't care if you're robbing from each other. I don't care if you're, marring the black community's public image.
Black people like this? No, not one bit. But if we're gonna keep spouting out how we're, oh my gosh, we're a minority, black people are minority, then we need to take ownership and be honest in what we're the majority of. We can't hit and holler about being a minority and, oh, what was me, a black person, and Black Lives Matter this, the white man this, when we get together and act like this. Again, it doesn't make sense to me. And me speaking out about this, looking at this footage, does not mean I'm an Uncle Tom or a coon or a self-hating black person. I would not change my skin color. I love who I am. I love everything about me, my hair, my skin, I love how it'll burn when I get in the sun. I love how I look, all nice chocolate and smooth. I'm here for it. But because I love myself so much and my skin color, I highlight these things and talk about it to this extent and this critical because I'm tired of how people are looking at me and looking at other black people in this nation when it's all for things that can be addressed or fixed. We're not in slavery. We're not back in the day. None of that is our concern right now. What is our concern is what we have control over. We have control over how we're acting in a neighborhood. We really do. And this ain't even the hood. This is a nice suburban looking little town, not town. And of course, who's up here causing all the ruckus? Who acting a fool in the streets? Let's be so for real right now. A lot of this behavior, we've seen it on the rise. It's the YNs. Have you been seeing the YNs?
And then you wonder why, white people don't want black people moving their neighborhood. You wonder why. You wonder why. I find this funny, right? When I'm insulted, right? Particularly by black people or liberal whites, they kind of say, "Oh, you're a model minority." Okay. Why is it a problem to be a good citizen? You think you're insulting me by saying, "Oh, you're a good citizen"? Okay, great. At least the insult for Asian people is a model minority. You are a good citizen, right? Compared to you being ratchet, you being like low class. Yeah.
If you see ever see spelled out, you ever seen like YNs on like Twitter or Instagram or whatever it may be? The YNS, that's young niggas. Like the YNs, they're no joke. I don't want no smoke. I don't want no smoke. And people are like, oh, well, the YNs, they scare me. Yeah, they scare other people too. That's why memes are happening. People are talking about it. The YNs are no joke. They got nothing to lose. They do what they want. They really do. And to me, on one end, I could kind of understand why they act the way they act. On the other side, it's like, I want so much better for them. I want so much better for everybody in the society, especially in America. And in terms of like, when I look at a YN, a young black person, who I see a little version of me, and I'm like, hey, you don't have to act like this. You don't have to view yourself as a victim. You don't have to think you have to do all these atrocities and this and that just to fit in. You don't. If collectively they got together and said we don't have to do this, let's take this union shit, this jointness, us whatever I'm doing in the streets, and let's all band together and do something great, you would make moves. But until it happens, I don't know where we're gonna go with this.
Oh shit! I forgot I gotta do something, right? So I'm gonna finish watching this. I'm gonna finish reacting to this video, and I'll probably have to end the live early because I forgot I had an appointment. Oh god. Well, we're gonna finish this live. We're gonna finish this video, and we'll see.
Good morning, like. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, it's always good. It's always good over here. Ain't no need to say it. It's always good. You good? Saying it's good morning. You good? Good. You good? You good? What you mean by good? I'm always good. Good everywhere. I'm good here, there, wherever. I'm good everywhere. Son. I was safe. Be safe. Be safe. Yeah, come here. Now y'all got my ones where I can say more about that. That's crazy. Come back here.
Smoke. I don't want nothing because it's scenarios like that can. Hey, I'm gonna play it. I just got out of the car. Nah, bro, I just bought it myself.
I can't buy that bitch.
Nah, bro.
Well, hey, chill out. Hey, it's a camera. It's a camera across the street, bro.
Even if this is a skit, which obviously it looks like a skit, even if it's a skit, again, the fact that it's a joke, there's a little bit of truth underneath it. That's why you're making it. Oh, walking around with something expensive in the hood because you know you're gonna get robbed, you're gonna get mugged, because that's what the data shows, and the community knows that it's not a big. I can't stress it.
Yeah, you've already. I'll probably have to end the stream early after watching this. I had another video planned, but I mean, like, I have to go do something. Hopefully, I won't be too late doing it.
It's not a video to just tear down at black and say black can't do anything, black is like that. No, but it's to point out the data and the trends that we see, and even.
Depends on. It's something quick, but if I finish it, I'll probably do another stream. We'll see.
Black people making fun of the stereotypes that are put upon us, so much so that we act them out. We try so hard.
Oh, you saw this video? You saw this one? Yeah, it's terrible.
To not be stereotyped and not be judged.
It's like, so this is the thing where Black Lives Matter so much. You don't mind stealing from each other. You don't mind killing each other. That is why I say that is a bigger problem than the white man. That is a bigger problem than racism. That you are killing each other. That you are robbing from each other. That is a bigger problem.
Prejudices and racism, that, but you're acting out the very thing that is wrong with the culture and the things that we see in Black neighborhoods. Because this would not, it could have.
This whole I'm afraid of hood, ghetto people thing is so not funny to me. It reminds me of how historically Europeans have always painted this picture of Africans being savages, criminals, dangerous, and uncivilized. Meanwhile, it was them, the Europeans, who were killing, stealing, destroying, along with a host of many other evil atrocities. So let us not forget that this was all done in the name of Jesus. I think that y'all are afraid of the wrong group of people. The true criminals are not ghetto people. The true criminals are the ones who purposefully created these ghettos. The Black people who are...
Hold on. So much was just said. Okay.
Yeah, I purposely graded. This is why the stupidity, right? I always look like the Asian community comparatively. How is the Asian community, while living in the same ghettos, right, the same hoods as Black people, they can create a better community, right? How's that, right? They're not criminals. They're not doing all these crazy things. Stop blaming others and look in the mirror.
First off, if you want to look back in the day, yeah, I'm with you. Like, I completely agree. I'm not going to ignore the pain that Black people went through back in the day. I'm not going to act like none of that happened. It did.
Well, yeah, it did happen, but here, let's be honest, right? Africans were trading each other. They were killing each other as well. You talking about savage? Like, they were doing, like, seriously, like, you think that, like, only blood is only on the white people's hands? No, it's on everyone's hands. Everyone's.
Right? But if we're going to talk about 2025, we're going to talk about today's age. And the stereotype that Black people are savages. Meanwhile, the data reflects that if we're going to be racist, which race in this nation acts like a savage? You get what I'm saying? If we're looking at the data, if we're looking at crime statistics, if we're looking at the first-hand experiences, if we're looking at the videos of the mass looting, mass shooting, mass street takeovers, and that savage behavior, what race do you normally see? Were white people ever savages like that? Yeah, guess we got that shit together. It's valid to be afraid of those kinds of people. If you are, for example, I'm afraid of anybody that looks super hood, super like thuggish, like it doesn't matter if it's Black, no matter who it is. You're Black man and color brown, but I'm scared across the board. It don't.
From your own people, you falling for the trick of the enemy. But for the people you should really be cautious of, you code switch. You adopt their morals, their behaviors, their values, their religion. You have no problem with assimilating into their world. But hood people are where you draw the line.
Because it's the white people world that are for. If you want, there we go. If you want a Black world, move in West Africa. Go ahead and click with our cousins. Go ahead out there and go be with them. Because this world that we created in America that we have right now, it's lit. I like it. I love it.
Do you know parts in Africa? This is a gay man, right? We pretty much guessed that. Parts in Africa would have killed this man. Parts in Africa would ban this man, would outlaw this man. I hate these types of Black people that wants to say, oh, all this thing about white country, all this stuff, but you wouldn't leave, right? You wouldn't leave. In America, we produce the most Black millionaires, Black middle class than any country, any nation on this earth. There are more middle class Black people here than there's anywhere else on earth. You are living a better life 1,000-fold than people in Africa in general. The amount of people who are living a better life here dwarfs the amount of people that are living a decent life in Africa.
I love it. I really do. I enjoy being here, and I want to keep it this way, and I want to assimilate into our envision of what a just society looks like. Talking about I should be afraid of Caucasian people, but not Black people. Even when I look at the data, I'm most likely to be harmed and killed in a Black hood.
Oh, yes. That is a comic book page, right? There was a time where I was buying a lot of comic book art, right? It's a artwork from Nightwing. The new 52, a little while back, right? So I wanted to buy that.
This don't make no damn sense.
think that ghetto people are having a very proper response to the conditions in which they've been subject to living. Food deserts, poorly funded schools, and we won't even start on what's being taught in these schools. Poor housing, low-paying.
Okay, why don't you teach? Why aren't you teaching your kids? At her age, right? YouTube, right? Why aren't you teaching your kids? Why aren't you buying, right, the math books? The extra, you know what? My family, we didn't rely on the school. We weren't hindered by the school, right? Asian families, they buy extra books, right? Extra books for their kids, right? Extra math books, English books, science books, all these things to help push the kid to be better, to be more educated, right? To be more educated at home. You talk about poor funded schools. Okay. Why don't your community start funding these schools? Zyrax, what is up? What is up?
But backbreaking jobs, with poverty being as expensive as it is. And all of it is by racial and systemic design.
It was. A lot of it was done by design, by racial and systemic issues. I get it. But no, it's so weird to me. It's like knowing that exists. Yes, we should try to fix that and improve on it. But there's literally nothing stopping you from getting out of that scenario. There's plenty of people that crack the code and get out the hood. And we can't be mad that why.
Or there's plenty of people who live in the hood and not shackled to it. I've said this before. Other minority groups live alongside black people. Other minority groups live alongside black people in these hoods, in these ghettos. But they're not shackled to the limitations of the hood. They're not. They don't allow the hood to shackle them. They don't. I said this before. Asian people who are living in the hood with black people, right? They're not hindering their kids. They're not making excuses for why aren't their kids having an education.
Like, why is it that we're upset that our neighborhoods are like this, the hoods like this, the trenches, the poor housing, the poor food, this, that, and the other? But black folk are also so quick to leave and never look back. White folk, they reinvest in their neighborhood. They reinvest in their private schools. They reinvest in their community and their morals. They reinvest in what's around them. Majority of black people did. They just leave.
And you got to think, right? Funding comes from the neighborhood, right? School funding comes from the surrounding area. It's not like, oh, the funding comes from one city to the next city. No. School funding comes from around the area.
Black rappers have all this money to pour back in the community. Some do. Some do. And the black rappers, they do them Thanksgiving turkey drives. They do. They definitely do. But all these RICO charges and drugs, this, gangs, this, just spend all the money on the fancy clothes and jewelry and this, that, and the third. That is buying the block, buying the corner stores, putting in restaurants. We can take personal responsibility somewhere. We really can. And while these neighborhoods and the cool things that have happened to black people has been by design, there's nothing stopping me today from being the change that I see fit, from being successful, from getting out those scenarios, from being successful in fixing up those areas. There's nothing stopping any black person from doing that. There is no, yes, it is easy. If you want to say, pull yourself up by the bootstraps, I get it. If you're working 2 jobs and trying to have fun and trying to remain her peace so she don't go crazy, and you know you can go out in the corner and flip a key and make thousands of dollars, or pick up a book, get good grades, then go to college, then get a job, this and the third. It's easy to go outside and make them racks and put them keys. I get it. I mean, I see that perspective. But at what point are we going to change that behavior? And at what point are we really going to start encouraging, hey, be a doctor, be a lawyer, stay in school, don't be out there in the streets? Because we always look at Zeus Network. We glorify the rappers, we glorify the scammers, we glorify the plugs, we glorify the dealers, the strippers, the gangbangers, the music. This is our culture. So at what point are we going to flip that around? And instead of furthering these stereotypes that are pushed, not even pushed, but these stereotypes that people have against black people, instead of like acting like that stereotypes that we typically do, we're going through this video, why not just be the change? That's what I wish, and that's what I really want for everybody out there.
I go training and bullshit, bro. Y'all let the Ku Klux Kevins and the Ku Klux Kiaras.
Yeah, let me chime in on this while I'm riding around in work, bro. It is definitely, this is the thing with y'all, man. Don't nobody want to be around. You got hood dudes, you got street homies. You know what I'm saying? You got the differences between the two. But I'm not going to break down all the differences. It just comes down and it boils down to regular black people that's just trying to get it and make their money and stay out of folks' way versus a motherfucker that'll rob a plug and attack a family whenever they want to crash out. And the second part of that station in the hood, homie, they all up in the hood. I got a homie that did a bid for 5 years, man, just fresh out. And he don't even want to go back to the hood because of how much trouble, not only could he get himself, but the potential of trouble that is surrounding him at all times, bro. You got people like me that'll sit and think about what I need to do to make money. I got to get a 9 to 5. Shit, I got to work. I got to make this. I got to make. Then you got people that's like, sit down, not even caring in the world. I gotta crash out, man, because somebody said this and that. Then I gotta go do some kick-go action.
This is the thing. I don't disagree that there's more good black people than there are bad, right? The problem is that the black community lets the black people, the bad ones, be their representations. The problem is that they don't worry about the bad ones and they worry about the white man, right? They worry about things, right? The system, the white man, racism, instead of worrying about what's actually affecting their community. Okay, the bad black people. I'm sorry, the bad black people is what's truly the problem of the black community. But you don't care about that. You don't worry about that. You care about the history of black people, which is it's a good thing to learn, right? It's a good thing to learn, to be knowledgeable about. But honestly, you learn it so much you're shackled to it. And two, you care about white people, you care about racism, you care about the system, right? The government, which is kind of funny because black people are the second most politically powerful group in the US. And yet they care about that instead of worrying about bad black people.
People like that.
Literally people like that. You got people in the risk it all, risk. I want them to, we all know being on black people versus being real with the stereotypes that face upon us. And
I don't feel comfortable with riding with a motherfucker that's in the car with me that might bring his stick with, or walking with somebody that might have a whole. Y'all know what we talking about, bro. Come on. And the thing is, y'all messing this all up because you got culture and then you got ghetto. There's two different things, man. Our culture running shit. That's why a lot of people trying to be like us. That's why everybody trying to have hood stories. That's why everybody trying to have hood this, hood that involved, because our culture is strong and it's prominent in America. And then you just got straight just crash dummies, homie. Straight crash dummies, man. People that go around tearing shit up because they feel like tearing shit up, man. There's homeboys I can go to Walmart with comfortably, and there's some people I just can't take in public, man. I don't like being around them most of the time, man.
It's so real and it's sad.
No, I don't even know what that is. Have you ever I don't know, what's mud water? Is that a drink? I think I've heard of mud water before.
So sad. That's what this all boils down to. This whole video boils down to is it's our mentality. It's how we're treating each other. It's how we're treating ourselves that matters most. And that's reflected within the media. That's reflected within our music. That's reflected in how we're acting in public.
I agree. That's the thing where I always said this, right? Black people are their own worst enemy. Black people are their own worst enemy. And that's what they need to worry about more, right? The black community needs to worry about the black community more than they should be worrying about the white man or the system and all that shit. So, guys, I'm sorry. I gotta leave. I gotta do something. When I come back, I mean, in probably like 30 minutes or so, I don't know. Maybe I'll do another live, but I don't know. We'll see. I forgot to do. I should have done this before I started the stream, but I completely forgot it. But yes, guys, I'm sorry. I got to end the stream early. Please check out my other videos. But yes, I love you guys, right? Evil Eddie, Zyrax, Laughing Man, Red Door, everyone else. I love you guys. Sorry, I gotta leave. I gotta go. All right, guys, I love you.